Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be looking at common troubleshooting commands on a Cisco router. These commands are useful whenever I want to debug, fix, or maybe check for some common errors in the router's configuration. So we'll be looking at these troubleshooting commands alongside with their purposes. Now before we continue, as usual, if you like the kind of video I used to drop on this channel and you have not subscribed to this channel, please hit on the subscription button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you always be notified whenever I drop a new video. And if you have watched any of my video and you learn something from it, please give that video a like. So let's continue. So the first troubleshooting command we'll be looking at today is connectivity and network. Okay, so let me zoom this router a little bit. So as usual, get your laptop. Okay, remember, we'll always make emphasis on real life scenarios. So get your laptop, connect your laptop to your router using a console cable. If you don't know how to do that, I already have a video. I'm going to drop it in the comment section below. So click on your laptop, go to desktop, click on terminal. So this terminal means the PuTTY or maybe the Charatem software you installed on your system. Okay, so open it. Now it's going to give you access to the router interface. Okay, so here we're going to accept no, enter. So now we are in the user exec mode. Okay, so let's just make this router unique. Let's change the name. So enable config terminal. So let's say host name, let's say router 1. Okay, or just R1, enter. All right, so the ping command. So for us to do this, let's go back to the privilege exec mode. So from this mode, we use the ping command, ping, to test for connectivity to a specific IP address or maybe a host. Okay, so if I have another system connected to this network, okay, maybe I have another system somewhere here connected to this network and I want to check the connectivity of that. Okay, let's not go out of the network. So maybe if I have another system connected to the same LAN here, okay, maybe we'll have a switch. Let me zoom this back small. So maybe we'll have a switch this way. So we have a switch and we have different laptops connected to the switch. The cable cannot connect to Y. Please let me find out why. Okay, we don't have port on this switch, so remember you can easily add ports, but I don't want to go through that stress. Let's just get another switch. So switch, let's get this. Okay, so better. So let me remove this switch. So if you have a switch and you have your network, okay, you have different hosts on that network. So it can be as many computers as possible. So remember, this computer too is connected to this network and all of them are connected to this part of the router. Why are you not connecting? Hey, I've deleted this router. Okay, come back. I'm supposed to use a straight through. This router has only auxiliary. Okay, so let me add an interface to this router. So let me off it. Let me just add some interface to it. Okay, so I'm going to on it back, close. Okay, so we are here. Means I need to connect back to it. Okay, fine. So no. Alright, so if you watch, the name have changed because of the switch off and on I did on the router. So let me connect this back. Okay, it's like I added the wrong port. What's wrong with me? I added the wrong port. So please, let's add a LAN port. Okay, so this is a LAN port. Okay, turn it off. The feature of a single LAN. Okay, so this is a LAN port. Let me just add 2. I've turned it on again. Let's try. Okay, better. So we have this. Okay, so I'm going to go back, connect again, and we are here. All right, no. Okay, so my point is this. I'm just saying, if you have all this system connected to one network, remember, an interface of a router comprises of one network. So if you have different interfaces on a router, any LAN you connect to that interface becomes a different network. Okay, so I'm saying, if you have all your systems connected to one LAN and you want to check for connectivity means, can this system communicate with this? Can this system communicate with this? Can this system communicate with this? Okay, so if you are trying to send, if this system is trying to communicate with this system and they are not getting a response, so you use this ping command for troubleshooting to test for connectivity. Okay, so you use the ping command to check if this system can really communicate to this. All right, so once you ping this PC, and once you use the ping command on this PC to test for the IP address of this PC, and you are not getting a response, you can start your troubleshooting. Okay, so let me just quickly demonstrate this using a laptop. Okay, so I'm just going to give this an IP address. Let me say 192.168.1.2. okay, just a random IP address just for this connectivity. So on this particular one, I'm going to give it to 192.168.1. Okay, let me try something. .1.2.4. okay, .2.4. so if I try to connect this to PC, so this is my command prompt. If I try to ping 192.168.2.4, okay, and I say enter. Now let's wait for response. Now we can see request timeout. So that means this system cannot communicate with this PC. Okay, so this is where you start doing your troubleshooting. So remember, you must know the IP address of this system. Okay, so if you know the IP address of that particular system on that network, you can now ping. You can use any of your system on the network, or the system you wanted to use to check for connectivity on the PC. You can now use it to ping that IP address of that destination system. If you are having this kind of response, now say packet sent is 4, so it sent 4 packets and it's receiving 0. So we have a loss of 4 packets that is sent. So that means there's no connectivity between both. So you can now start checking whether is it your IP address that is having issue or what. Okay, but then if you don't know the IP address of a particular system, this is where the second command we're going to be looking at today comes in. Okay, so the second command will be ipconfig. Okay, so once you use this command ipconfig on any system, is going to bring up the IP address table of that particular system. Okay, so this is the internet adapter connected to this PC, and also we have another adapter here, the Bluetooth adapter. So the IP address of this system, this is the IPv6 and this is the IPv4 of this system. So you can easily get the IP address subnet mask of any system using this IP config troubleshooting command. Okay, so since I know that this system IP address is 192.168.1.4, let's go back to the other system and check the IP address. So this is IP config. So the IP address of this system is 1.2. So that means they are not on the same network, so they can never communicate together. So for us to correct this, so this is where troubleshooting starts. So for you to correct it, you need to come back to your PC and go to configuration, then change this to be on the .1 network. So now they are on the same network. So if we try to come back to this PC, we can now ping the IP address, command prompt. Okay, so remember now it's 1.4. okay, 1.4, sorry. Now if you watch, we're having a response. Okay, so that means we are able to use the ping command to test the destination IP address, and it is not going through. And now we started our troubleshooting using the second command I showed you guys, IP config, to check for the IP address of the second system, compare it with the IP address of the first system. So we use the IP config to check for the IP address of this system, compare it with this, and we notice that they are not on the same network. So our troubleshooting starts from there. So we change the IP address of this to be on the same network with this, and we test our connectivity again using the ping command, and they were able to communicate to each other. Okay, so that is applicable if you are doing that on a Cisco router. Okay, so if you have two routers or maybe multiple routers in a network, you can use the ping command, PING, then test the destination IP address of that router you are trying to connect to. Okay, so let's jump to the next one. I think I've talked much on ping. So just know that ping, PING, is used to test for connectivity, and IP config is used to check for the IP address of your, okay, this is config, sorry. Okay, so this is okay, so thank God this error pops up. Okay, so I'm supposed to complete this statement, IP config, so I'm supposed to have n here. So I mistakenly did not put n here, and I have this domain name lookup error. Okay, so whenever you are trying to configure a router or maybe a Cisco switch, always disable the domain name lookup. Okay, if not, whenever you make a mistake in some of your typings, you are going to have this error, and it's going to take a lot of time for this error to clear off. Okay, so whenever you are typing and you input a wrong command and you have this error, you can use Ctrl+Shift+6 to exit the error. Okay, but also, like I said, always disable domain name lookup on your Cisco router. All right, so let's try this again. I think since we are doing troubleshooting, so this is IP con, so I did this config. Okay, so I have this error, so you can use Ctrl+Shift+6 on your system keyboard to exit that particular error. Okay, so you can enable, you can go to enable, configure T. So always do this, no domain lookup. All right, no domain name I've forgotten this this command. Please just give me time. Okay, no IP, yeah, no IP domain lookup. All right, so no IP domain lookup. Don't mind me, there are many configurations and it's not easy to have all this in your head. Okay, so let's try that again. Exit. So let me say I did that mistake again. IP con, So I did not put the N, Abby, config. So this way, right? So we're not going to have that error again. Okay, this is the main name lookup error again. So always disable this so that you will not be having this delay when you are doing your configuration. All right, so let's continue. So the next command is traceroute. So traceroute. Okay, so we use traceroute to display the path that packet takes to reach a destination. So if I have different routers here, connected together, remember the internet is a bunch of routers connected together. Okay, so if I have different routers here and I'm trying to reach this PC is trying to reach this laptop rather is trying to reach this PC on this network. Okay, so if this laptop is trying to reach this PC on this network, is going to use that command traceroute. Okay, let's see it, traceroute, to trace where the fault is coming from on this network. Okay, so once that command is being initiated, the path at which this laptop will take to reach this destination will be tested. So if this laptop is following this route to this destination, so this router will be tested, this router will be tested, this router will be tested. So if there's any if there's any of the routers that is having that particular fault, we're going to see it using that particular command. Okay, the traceroute. Okay, so let's go back to our interface here. So you can say traceroute, then the IP address of the destination, which is this. Okay, so this IP address. So once you do that, we have not configured this network. Okay, so as we have configured the network, you see this in practical. Okay, but this is exactly what you do if you're trying to get where the error is coming from a network. What you need to do is to traceroute the IP address of the destination. Then it's going to list out the hubs or the paths at which this laptop is following to the destination. Then it's going to show you where the fault is coming from. Okay, so some of this command I'm going to be applying them when we go advanced in some of this configuration. Okay, so once we come back here, okay, so it's requesting for IP, so the IP of this. So but we have not configured that network, so without put the IP address, nothing is going to happen. So the next command we'll be looking at is a show. Okay, show IP route. So the show IP route is used to display the router's routing table to verify network routes. Okay, so if I click on enter, it's going to display the router's routing table. Okay, so assuming we have done some routing on this router, maybe like RIP, ERGRP, OSPF, or maybe static routing or dynamic. So if we have done any routing on that router, we're going to see the routing information here. So we're going to be seeing something like this particular IP address reaches this particular IP address via this particular type of configuration. Okay, so it can be either directly connected. So directly connected means that a particular router is connected directly to a particular router. Okay, so it can be static, it can be IGRP, it can be RIP, it can be BGP, it can be ERGRP, it can be OSPF. So depending on the kind of OSPF here, so depending on the kind of routing protocol you did on your router, you see the information under this routing table here, right? So please don't panic, we'll still get to there. Those ones are more advanced, but we'll get to there in this series. If you follow up, you are going to learn a lot from this channel. So remember, like I said, most BB companies uses Cisco routers and Juniper and Microtik and other kind of routers, but then Cisco routers is rampant in many companies. So that's why I'm emphasizing more on these Cisco routers. When we finish configuration on Cisco router to a particular stage, we can look at other kind of configuration on other routers. Okay, so the next command will be show IP interface. Okay, brief. So we use this command to provide a summary, a kind of brief information of all the interfaces. So their IP addresses and also their status, whether it is up or maybe whether it is down. Okay, so if I click on enter, so remember we are on this router. So all the whole interfaces, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 interfaces on this router. So all the whole interfaces are listed here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we use this command to see the information of all the whole interface on a particular router. Okay, remember we're talking about router on this. I'm going to still do video on switch. So we use it to see the information on a particular, on the interface of a particular router. Okay, so this is this port here. So the IP address is all assigned. We have not given an IP address to it, and we have the status administratively down. Remember, we didn't turn it on. Okay, so remember how to turn on the interface of a router using the no shutdown. All right, so I will not be doing it on this video, but just know it. I've done it in many of the videos. Okay, so the next command is show running config. Okay, so the show running configs help us to display the active configuration on the router. So if there's any configuration we are doing on the router or have already been done on the router, we use the show running config to display those configuration. So if I click on enter, I'm going to be seeing something like the version, the host name. We didn't change the host name, it's still on router. Okay, so interface. Okay, you also see the interfaces, also see whether a particular interface is duplex mode or maybe on half duplex. Then the speed, you know, the interface status. If you watch, they are still on shutdown. Okay, they are still on shutdown, and other configuration, just virtually every configuration you have given to your system. So if you have configured the line console password, the line VTY, you see all of them here. All right, so the next command is the show interfaces. So this show interfaces, we use it to provide detailed information about all interfaces, now including errors and packet statistics. So if I want to see a particular status or information of a particular interface, I'm going to use the show interface, then I'm going to specify that particular interface. So let's come back up here. So let's just use this interface here, Ethernet 4/0. Okay, so let's say Ethernet 4/0 interface. Enter. So here you can see the information of that particular interface, just that interface. Okay, so interface, it's telling you that okay, it's the status is administratively down, the line protocol is down, you know, hardware, so I've not configured IP address, you could have seen it here, full duplex mode, you know, the speed, you know, different information about that particular interface. Okay, so we use this particular command to see the informations. Okay, so there's another command again, which is the clear counter. Okay, so clear counter, let me see if I have this here. Okay, I don't have it on this simulator. Okay, but though it is clear counter, then you specify the particular interface. So use it to reset the interface counter to start fresh during troubleshooting. Okay, so this simulator doesn't accept that. All right, so the next command will be show IP app. So ARP means address resolution protocol. So we use address resolution protocol to resolve IP to MAC address. Okay, so if I have if this PC is trying to send information to this PC, okay, so normally this PC is going to know the IP address of this, but it cannot know the MAC address at first. Okay, so what it's going to do is that it's going to send an app message to this particular PC. Okay, so it's going to send a broadcast message to all the whole systems connected to that network. Okay, so if I have like 10 systems connected to this network, so it's going to send a broadcast message with that IP address of this destination. Okay, so if this destination IP address is maybe 2.2, so it's going to send a broadcast message to the whole PC on this network, directing it to this IP address. Okay, so that app message is to get the MAC address of this PC, then add it up to its table, so that next time when it's trying to send a message to this PC, it's not going to be broadcasting to the whole interface. Okay, so it's going to broadcast it except from the interface is going out from, which is its own interface. Okay, so app is used to get the MAC address of a particular PC on a network. So once he gets that MAC address, he's going to add it to his MAC address table. Okay, so once he add it to his MAC address table, when he's trying to send packet the next time, it's not going to repeat the whole process of broadcasting the MAC address procedure. So that's what actually an app does in a network. Okay, so we can say show IP app. So we don't have any app table here, so we can't see anything. We have not done any configuration on this router Pathenic app, so we can't see any information here. Okay, so the next troubleshooting command we're looking at today is the show IP protocol. Okay, so these show IP protocols help us to display information about the routing protocol that is running on that particular router. Okay, so just like the RIP we talked about, the OSPF or the EIGRP. Okay, so we use these show IP protocols to display those routing protocols. All right, so if I click on enter, nothing is going to happen because we don't really have any routing protocol running on this router. Okay, so but assuming we have configured a routing protocol at which any device can use to reach its destination, we're going to see the routing protocol display here. Okay, so we're going to see the routing protocol display here when we use this command. So don't get panic when we start configuring some of these routing protocols. We're going to be using these commands to see them in play. Okay, so we also have another command which is a debug. Okay, sorry, this is debug CDP IP packet. Okay, so we use this command to capture detailed information about IP packets for troubleshooting. So but when you're using this command in a production environment or in your troubleshooting environment, please be cautious of it because it can overload the router. Okay, so if I click on enter, the packet debugging will start. So remember, you can use a software like the Wireshark to analyze and capture packets from a network connection. Okay, that would be a different class, but it's also a troubleshooting tools I like using in my network. Okay, so the next command we're looking at is the show CDP neighbor. Okay, so we use this CDP neighbor. Remember in my last video, yes, I think so, we talked about CDP, which is Cisco Discovery Protocol. Okay, so we use it to display directly connected Cisco devices using the CDPs. So we use it to display the directly connected Cisco devices. So we have another command which is the show login. Login. Okay, so we use this show logins to display system log messages. Okay, so it's useful when we are trying to see errors on our routers. Okay, so use it to see trap logins, level of information, to get more information about the router. Okay, so syslog, enable message drop 0. We're having all this 00 because we don't have configurations on this network. Okay, so the router is just there. There's no configuration on it. So as we have configuration on it, and maybe we're having some kind of errors, some of these values will be increasing. Okay, so monitoring login, buffering, console login. Remember, I'll talk about this in my last video. Okay, we'll talk about monitor, we'll talk about buffer. I talked about it in my last video, so please check it out. Login exception and many of them. So we use it virtually to check for system logs messages. Okay, so another command is the debug IP. Okay, let's say debug. Okay, yeah, debug IP. You can specify a particular protocol, maybe OSPF. Okay, then let's check the event. So as we have an OSPF configuration here, we can see the event. Okay, the event of that event means what's going on. Okay, so we can see what's going on that particular protocol. All right, so you can also do that for ERGRP. You can do that for RIP. Okay, and many of them. All right, so remember, it is used to enable the details debugging for a specific processing or maybe a protocol, just like we just now. Also disable this debugging after you use it. Okay, so once you are done checking your event, always disable it. Okay, so to do that, just do no debug all. Okay, or you can specify the particular one you want to remove. Okay, so all possible debugging has been turned off. Fine. So we can also use something like the show processes CPU. Okay, central processing unit. So we can okay, what's happening? CPU, we don't have it here. So okay, no need of putting the CPU. So actually we use this command to display the CPU utilization and also identify processes consuming our resource. Okay, so we can see the CPU utilization for 5 seconds, for 1 minute, for 5 minutes. All right, then we have our quantity, runtime, we'll have use second, the millisecond, we also have the processes. So just use the command to see what is utilizing our processor and also how it consumes our resources. Okay, so there is another command here which is the show version. Okay, so we can use this show version. You already know what I'm trying to do, to see the version of your router. Okay, so we have this software version 3.0. okay, and we also have some information like the processor board ID. We have some other information here, configuration registry. We have this and other details you can see using this command. Okay, so we have the iOS PT1000 software PT1000. Then we have the version 12.0. okay, the release software, you know, copyright, compile, image, text, whatever. So just more details you can read about on the router. So we use the show version to see more details on that. So you can also do something like show IPOSPF. okay, that is the neighbor. All right, so we can see OSPF neighbor if we have, so it's going to display somewhere here. We can also see that for the RIP. We can see that for the ERGRP or whatever protocol you want to see the neighbor on. So remember, I said neighbor is the guy connecting directly to that particular device. Okay, so we can also do something like the show IP BGP summary. So BGP here means border gateway protocol. Okay, so border here means, you know, when you're trying to travel from a particular country to another, so there's a particular place you reach and it will identify that, okay, this country ended here and the next country started from here. Okay, so just like an end and a start point of a particular country, the meeting point of an end and a start point of a particular country. Okay, so we can have an anonymous network. You can have an anonymous network. Maybe I have this full network here, and we'll have another network maybe in another country. You have another network maybe in another different state. Okay, and you want to communicate between these anonymous networks. We use the protocol BGP. All right, so if you want to see the summary of this protocol, you can use the show IP BGP summary and enter. So if we have the configuration, we're going to see the details of that configuration, the BGP configuration on that router. All right, so we can also do something like show. Sorry, this video is getting long. I don't know why my video used to be this long, but please, I just believe the informations are helpful to you. So we can also use the show IP. Okay, show IP NAT. Okay, so we want to check for NAT and ACLs in our system. So remember, NAT is network address translator. Okay, so it translates IP address to public IP address. So we can have multiple private IP address that want to go to the internet through maybe just one public address. So we use NAT to do this translation. So if you want to see if you want to display this NAT translation active on your router, we can use the show NAT translation. Okay, enter. So if we have any NAT configuration or NAT that is active, NAT configuration that is active on your router, we use this configuration to verify that. Okay, so we can also do that for ACL. ACL is show, remember ACL, access control list. So we can say show access list. So if we have any ACL configured on this router, we can see the information here. So like I said, remember, don't panic when we start doing some of these advanced configurations. We're going to be using these troubleshooting commands to be showing this information like I've explained in this video. So please, I made this video so that you can keep these commands in mind when we start. The next command will be show VLAN. I think we have talked about VLAN a lot of time in my videos. So if you want to display your VLAN information, so we can use show VLAN brief. Okay, BRIEF VLAN. Okay, let me see. Show. I should have VLAN now. Show VLAN. Okay, I don't have that command here. Okay, so sorry, my bad. Remember, VLANs are protocols. They are virtual LAN that are being configured on switch, not on router. Okay, so we use VLAN to show the VLAN configurations on switch, not on router. Okay, so sorry about that. So we're going to use the show VLAN brief commands when we are doing troubleshooting commands on switch, maybe in my next video. Okay, so that will be all the troubleshooting command we'll be using today. So these are the basic commands you can use to troubleshoot your network. So for best practice, always use the terminal messages in real time during debugging. So, and also use the no debugging all to immediately disable all debugging whenever you enable it in a particular protocol. Okay, and also always check for the CPU and memory usage before you run an intensive commands like the debug. Okay, so guys, let me know if you would like a deep explanation on any of these commands. Thank you. If you learned anything from this video, please give it a like, and also if you have not subscribed to my channel and you like the kind of video I'm dropping on this channel, please hit on the subscription button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. Thank you guys, and see you in my next video.